Greetings, everyone, from San Antonio. The Spurs playing host to a Western Conference affair here at the sold-out AT&T Center. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. And as we take a long look here at Kawhi Leonard, guys, what's your thought on him?
Some of the quickest hands in the league on him, guys. And we see it in how often he's able to poke a ball loose, just as his man is going up for the shot.
Also, guys, so often we see him playing possum at the defensive end. And then all of a sudden he springs into action, picks off a pass, and ignites the fast break.
Look at New Orleans. A great start to the season for them, notching 3 wins to tip it off.
I think for the Pelicans, you know, they've got to take a step back and just try to pinpoint where things went south for them this season. They're in a tough spot.
But it's so hard to figure that out in the midst of the season, Clark. You got games coming night after night. There's just no time to figure it out. You just have to try to right the ship and get things moving.
Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
A short time ago, I had a chance to catch up with Greg Popovich. One player who's really on his mind in this matchup is Eric Gordon. He said of Gordon, he can shoot with deep range and has the strength and explosiveness to go by you if you overcommit and finish or get himself to the line. So he's just an underrated scorer in this league, and it's going to take a total team effort to slow him down. Kevin, we'll see how they do.
Thanks again, Doris. Now here's Parker, following the shot by Drew Holiday. Shot clock at 5. Hangs in the air, and you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while.
Now here's Gordon. He's coming off a 19-point game against Cleveland. And Holiday kicks to Gordon. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. 6 points for Eric Gordon.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Parker off the pick from Duncan. Green against Gordon. Green, the pass to Leonard. Feeds to Parker. And the foul on Drew Holiday. That is his first foul of the game.
You know, the Pelicans last season, middle of the pack in offensive efficiency, really played a slow-down type of game. Kind of unusual for a young team, but I think that's part of Coach Monty Williams' style. He likes disciplined and deliberate.
Now Holiday after the missed 3 from Green. Gordon dishes to Holiday. New Orleans moving the ball around. He feeds it to Gordon. From the arc. Can't get it to go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. And the Pelicans, 3rd lowest in fast break points last season. Steve, also 5th lowest in free throw attempts.
Well, that's a lack of talent, Kevin. I mean, usually when you look at a team's roster, you know, if they don't have talent, it translates into those areas. You don't get to the line. You don't get to the free throw line and get easy baskets unless you have talented players. But that's why the Pelicans went out and made the offseason moves that they did.
Now here is Holiday after the miss from Tim Duncan. And it's Gordon missing.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Green kicks to Leonard. Parker outside. Parker left side. And that one's good. Parker's got 5 now.
You know, guys, that's what he does. He just loves to play that kind of attacking basketball.
Holiday, the pass to Gordon. Smith with a screen on Green. And the basket by Gordon.
Well, this quarter has gone awfully well for him. It seems like every chance he's gotten, he's pretty much converted.
And here is Green. 17 points in his last outing. Outside Leonard. The pass to Splitter. Back to Leonard. Beyond the arc. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Pelicans lead by 3. We've got more in store for you right after this.
On tap this Saturday, November 30th.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. Guys, what stands out to you from the Pelicans in this one?
Yeah, the defense has been terrific. They came out right from the beginning, alert and focused, and they've been really good at that end of the floor.
And I think Coach has to be pleased with the effort, Steve.
Last game in New Orleans, they picked up the win against Cleveland.
And Kevin, they overcame a very poor shooting night to win that game. You know, you're not going to be able to win very often with a percentage as low as theirs.
Yeah, no beauty or style points in that game, but they did hit the big shots when they needed to.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court right now for the Spurs, the guards, Parker and Bellinelli. Matt Bonner is out there with Boris Diaw, and it's Ginobili in at the small forward position.
There were a lot of questions as to whether Anderson would be as effective coming off the bench as he was as a starter, but he showed that no matter how he's used, he can come in and hit from deep.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, Kawhi Leonard, the Spurs' highest draft pick since Tim Duncan, and he has been a starter from his first game in the NBA. Coach Popovich says he's really a special player at both ends of the court. And what makes me so confident about him is that he wants it so badly. He comes early, he stays late, and he's coachable. I think he's going to be a star and the face of the Spurs. Big praise from a coach not known for hyperbole, guys.
Well, Doris, it's hard to put a ceiling on him. He does have star potential. And for the Pelicans, a nice front court rotation with Anderson and Anthony Davis. And you get offense and, Steve, defense.
Yeah, still young. Pelicans have gotten a lot of phone calls about Ryan Anderson, no question. He is coveted around the league, but they consider him a key piece of this young roster, particularly putting him around Anthony Davis to keep defense off of him.
Here's Parker after Austin Rivers scored. Parker kicks to Bellinelli. Back to Parker. Aminu grabs the miss.
I thought he'd make that one. I mean, that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
And Holiday kicks to Rivers. Rivers off a pick from Steamsby. 6 on the shot clock. And it's New Orleans scoring again. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter.
The Spurs last year were as tough as always in San Antonio. Hard not to beat when you win 50 games every season. Ended up with a 35-6 record at home, which was good for the third best in the league.
New Orleans leading by 5. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing, doesn't it, Steve?
It sure does, and now it's to the point where they just feel unstoppable.
And San Antonio has possession following the miss by Austin Rivers. Parker guarded by Holiday. Bonner kicks to Diaw. Spurs passing it around. That's a 2 from Parker. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Parker's got 9 points. And with the Spurs, they are just so consistent every time they take the court. You always, Steve, expect them to get a win when they play in this building.
And the two teams with better home records in the NBA were the Nuggets and the Heat, both of whom had huge win streaks. But as you said, it's the Spurs' consistency every time out that lets them pile up these home wins without anyone really thinking much about it.
Now here's Ginobili. Following the miss by Austin Rivers. Parker dishes to Ginobili. Again, the miss by Ginobili. Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs winning their last game against Cleveland. Holiday attacking. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
That whistle got a big response from this crowd, and it is not a favorable one, let's say.
I'll tell you what, the fans can't believe that they made that call.
Here's Parker. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Cleveland. With 1 on the clock. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. New Orleans on top. They're up by 6. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And it's the Houston.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. You look at Tony Parker. What a contribution.
I like that he didn't force anything in that first half. His decision-making was really flawless.
That being the case, Steve, I think they want him to be more assertive in the second half. Look to take more shots. Be a little more shot hungry, even the tough ones.
Getting underway in the second half. Here's the 5 for Monty Williams. The backcourt, Holiday and Gordon. Davis and Smith together down low. And it's Evans in at the 3, the small forward. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That one's on Eric Gordon.
And you know where you'll see him put in the majority of his work is in the rebound battle. Puts a persistent physical effort on the glass. He is tough to box out.
And Steve, he's also the player they rally around at the defensive end. I mean, they cause some real havoc when he's out there running the show defensively. Boy, the Hornets were a very young team last season, had several draft picks that saw meaningful time and were even in the rotation. And this team was NBA young, and that often means you're going to struggle on the road.
So he gets them both. And for the Pelicans, Steve, there were teams with fewer road wins than them, but not many. Only 11 road wins for them as they went 11-30 on the season.
Well, and the trouble with New Orleans last year was that they really didn't have any aspect of their game that they could count on the road. And if you can't score and you can't defend, it's hard to win at home, much less win it on the road.
It's not enough for the defense to just get into position. They've got to get in the way.
He took what they gave him and cashed in.
Yeah, he paid it off.
Yeah, in a big way. Superb finish.
Spurs trail by 6. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, as you know, gentlemen, Greg Popovich is one of the foremost practitioners of the intentional fouling that sends poor free throw shooters to the line. Not exactly a fan favorite, and Pop says, quote, I think it's ugly, I think it's awful, but it's legal, it's there. If somebody doesn't want to get hacked, they should shoot free throws better. Guys, he's all about winning. Whether it's pretty or ugly, he doesn't care.
They wear you down, Doris. Thank you so much. Al Gordon, after the missed 3 from Splitter. The drive by Gordon. Green with the block. But they get it back. Davis with the bucket. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And going against New Orleans, their first meeting of the year.
And looking back to last year, they won this season series, as you'd probably expect.
Well, over the course of the last 10 games, these big men have been the NBA's best at the charity stripe. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Duncan, the pass to Parker. The dish to Green. Outside Leonard. 6 to shoot. Takes a 3. Gets it to go. Leonard's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. To touch again on Steve's comment, last year they were a playoff team facing a team that went home at the end of the regular season, and Clark, they took advantage.
Yeah, that to me is what makes a playoff team, Kevin. I mean, beating the teams you should beat and then not having any significant letdown.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball. Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Now here is Holiday. After the miss from Tim Duncan. Back to Holiday. He passes to Gordon. Evans outside. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Gordon kicks to Davis. Cannot hit. Duncan with some nice D.
Probably the biggest knock on Anthony Davis you could make his rookie season is that he missed a lot of time with injuries, and that's really not something you knock a guy for. Ankle, a concussion. He missed several stretches.
Outside, Green. He kicks to Parker. Back to Green. Jacks up a 3. Rebound by Smith.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
Holiday attacking. Gordon dishes to Holiday. Back to Gordon. Smith sets the pick for Gordon. San Antonio with the rebound. And for Anthony Davis, a slender build. How he weathers the physicality of the NBA in some people's minds, Steve, is a question.
Well, it's always hard to predict when a player comes out of college after his freshman year just how much more he's going to fill out. But he's got broad shoulders. It looks like he's got the ability to add muscle. And I think as he does that, he's going to be probably best suited to play the power forward position long term rather than center.
Gordon the pass to Evans. Outside Holiday. From the high post. Misses the shot. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Pelicans lead by 4. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports.
Tune in next Sunday, December 4th.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Here's Rivers. The guards, Parker and Bellinelli. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Boris Diaw, and it's Bonner in at the 5 down low. That's the San Antonio 5. Davis kicks to Rivers. Back to Davis. That's good. Davis has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Pelicans. Spurs trail by 6. Parker kicks to Bellinelli. Back to Parker for 3. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
You know, he's not the most flashy point guard out there, and you don't hear his name when people talk about the best point guards in the game, but I think Parker is one of the best in the business when it comes right down to it. He's able to do so many things out there for you and just had a dominant season for the Spurs a year ago.
Steve, Parker's fearlessness going to the hoop is what makes him such a devastating player in crunch time. Often you'll see him go right into a bigger guy, take the contact, and still find a way to finish the play.
San Antonio calls timeout. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He urged them to attack the basket, saying, hey, we're settling for the jump shot too often. Let's drive the lane, make them work inside. It's time to attack, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Jason Smith comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Gordon in for Tyreke Evans. New Orleans leading by 3. Holiday dishes to Smith. They set the pick. Anderson, a screen on Ginobili. Aminu, the pass to Gordon. Clock at 6. Plenty of daylight on that shot. And the Pelicans lead by 5. Gordon's gone 4 of 8 from the field. And Bellinelli kicks to Ginobili. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
And Holiday kicks to Gordon. The kick out to Holiday. The feed now to Aminu. Holiday, Eric Gordon on the wing. Blocked. The tray. The shot by Holiday, no good. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. And Ginobili, here we go. That misses, had a chance to tie it there.
Boy, they almost tied it up with that shot.
Boy, they're this close here in the fourth quarter, scrapping back into it.
Kicks it to Anderson. From outside, off the mark. The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Ginobili dishes to Bellinelli. Back to Ginobili to take the lead. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. New Orleans gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Holiday attacking. And again, no good by New Orleans.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
Here's Ginobili. It falls. He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
So hard to stop Ginobili right now.
So for the Pelicans, Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Anderson. And Tyreke Evans subbed in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Gordon, he's covered by Ginobili. Gordon off a pick from Davis. Gordon the pass to Davis. Tries again. No luck. Great D that time from Duncan. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. For San Antonio, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. Ginobili kicks to Parker. Ginobili outside. It's off his leg. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. Five seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Parker. Oh, missed it. Time expires, and we're going to overtime. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Well, if you love great competition and neck-and-neck basketball action, this one has been a great one. Overtime number 1. Getting going right now. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court for San Antonio. Down low, it's Duncan and Splitter. Ginobili and Leonard on the wings. And it's Parker in at the point guard position. Here's Ginobili after Drew Holiday's score. Double team on Parker. Back to Ginobili. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 6. Ginobili with the ball. Evans picks him up. Evans with the steal. He dishes it to Gordon. Back to Holiday. All alone. Rebound San Antonio.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Ginobili dishes to Parker. Parker double teamed. Ginobili. 6 on the shot clock. draws the hard foul, and he'll head to the line. That one's on Eric Gordon.
Great job. Taking right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left him no choice but to foul there.
He drops the first one, and that narrows the gap to 1. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Tremendous job at the foul line as usual. You can always bank on him in these situations.
Holiday goes in. On the wing, Eric Gordon. He's covered by Ginobili. Gordon gets to Holiday. Back to Gordon. For 3. Spurs shooting about 42% so far. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Ginobili, the pass to Parker. Buries it.
Oh, what a basket in at the perfect time.
How about the courage and backbone of this guy? Wow.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're down by 2. There's 18 seconds left in overtime. Here's what you take.
Well, what do you think, Clark? You go for the 2 or the 3 here?
I don't think you choose one or the other ahead of time. I think you try to take what's available. You get the best shot as quickly as you can.
Outside Holiday. Pass to Gordon. Ginobili with the steal. And that's an intentional foul.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yep, you got to extend the game here. Try to keep that clock from moving.
And no good as the first free throw, missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
A three-pointer here might have us headed to another overtime period.
And so it's San Antonio who's straight by with the win. An impressive victory in overtime after an exciting end in regulation.
You know what? In a long game, fatigue can sometimes affect every aspect of play. They didn't look tired at all to me.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Manu Ginobili.